Welcome back to the HGC. We are preparing for our second series of the day, and we got a pretty nice one coming at you. My name is Trixler over there. We got Caldor. Caldor, how you feeling, buddy?
Pretty good. 5 maps on the first series. Didn't quite expect that. Really nice play there from Zealots, but also from Team Liquid. Good adjustments after they struggled with the initial drafts that we saw on Zealots' side. So, I'm ready for another 5-mapper.
That I am as well, especially with Granit Gaming playing some interesting compositions as of late. We remember the triple stealth. That was a fun one.
I'm pretty sure we're going to see a lot of Samuro bans.
Yeah, Samuro is a big one here for Granit Gaming, as Nanda has shown that hero off pretty darn well. Looking at the standings right now, we currently have 2 undefeated teams, as we have Team Liquid to the top, Dignitas right behind them with a 3-0, and they're looking to tie it up with a 4-0 themselves. And the best part, too, is on Sunday, if Dignitas is to win today, we get to find out who's going to be able to break the undefeated record.
Yeah, Dignitas and Liquid definitely looking extremely strong, and even though Liquid just lost 2 maps against Zealots, who are at the bottom of the standings, still pretty impressive that they are undefeated yet in matches. So great start into phase 2 by them. Granit Gaming, on the other hand, finding the rhythm a little bit in the second week, and also we already heard from Nanda, he wants to make sure that at some point at least Dignitas is going to be forced to ban out Samuro against him, because that's the hero where he had a huge impact so far in all the HGC games that they played.
And he said he would take that as a win if he ever does see that man come forward. Team Liquid and Zealots did happen earlier. Team Liquid got the win with a 3-2, a solid 5-game series. If you want to check out those replays, then do so. Granit Gaming and Team Dignitas will be up next, but later on, North America coming at you with Team Freedom and Endemic facing off, and then LFM Esports and Tempo Storm to finish the day.
Yeah, I think there's a good chance that Tempo Storm is going to be winning against LFM Esports. And yeah, I'm excited for both of those games.
Vin, will you drop that joke? Win.
When he's confirmed, I guess. When he's confirmed, I guess.
All right, well, Dignitas and Granit Gaming talked to us about the matches coming our way. Let's go ahead and check it out.
Basically, Tempo Storm, you can do everyone a favor.
Yeah, I think this season is a lot better than the last one we had. The new additions from our team, Raidboss and Memecraft, are very strong. We are a full German team, which means our communication can be better at times. I'm very happy that we found a sponsor in Granit Gaming, and I hope our the people that are watching are gonna cheer for us at least a bit. So when we face off against Dignitas next weekend, I think the way to beat them is by having strong drafts that they cannot predict, and then having a strong early game and not falling behind, because Dignitas is known for punishing every mistake. So as long as we keep playing our game well, I think we might take a map or 2.
I think we are doing pretty good at the moment, but I think we are not satisfied yet. We feel like we play at maybe 75% of our potential. We actually always start slow and we take some time to ramp up. Playing against Granit Gaming this weekend, we are not really scared to play against them, obviously. I think they are good players, but as long as we keep playing what we do, I think we will do completely fine. And if we can just play as we did against like Genji in the grand final every time, I think we will just be far better and even maybe the best team in the world.
JPL stated it himself, this match is a match that they can come into and assuming get the victory, but as mentioned, it's not a team that you should really disrespect, right? We've had Samuro come out and really be effective for Nanda and crew, and they have been willing to show that they are going to experiment with drafts, and they really did so last week. It was a lot of fun to watch.
I'm actually pretty hyped for the second part of 2018 for a simple reason, because when we went into the mid-season brawl, a lot of the Korean teams have said that they felt that Europe as a region has become a bit weaker compared to BlizzCon, and a lot of people attributed that to the big roster changes that have started at the beginning of the year, and that especially Dignitas didn't really have teams that were quite on their level to really rise together and being forced to always improve. And I think that's now slowly changing. There's definitely with Team Liquid now another contender that is doing extremely exceptionally well. And that's with changes coming in after the mid-season brawl. So I feel, especially towards the second part of Phase 2, all of those teams that we see in the top 4 right now with Method, with Fnatic and Team
Full
Liquid,
potential.
there's a lot of potential of huge rivalries going on that will force everyone to really step it up. So when JPL talks in the video about how he thinks that if they play on the same level that they played against Gen G at the mid-season brawl final, that they can be the best team in the world, I think that road and that possibility is definitely there if Europe as a region then steps it up towards the second part of Phase 2 towards BlizzCon. So that's what I want to see from all the teams, that everybody just improves together now that the rosters are getting refined. There's still a couple of problems that teams have to smooth out. Zealots is a really good example, but we already see that progress happening. So from that perspective, I really think what JPL said can happen towards BlizzCon.
Even with our bottom tier teams kind of pushing their way into and threatening these 5-game
Leftovers.
series, exactly, that equation can definitely become something that we can have in toss where even other crews become the best in the world here. Let's go ahead and look at Battleground number 1 here in this best of 5 series as we head on into it. It's going to be Granit Gaming picking Dragonshire for the first map. Braxis Holdout and Sky Temple have been banned out.
This is one of those interesting ones where it seems both of the teams traditionally ban Braxis. So we're having Granit banning Braxis, and that leaves another map open for Dignitas to ban out, so they ban Sky. Nothing really much more to say about that, but we have some teams that have very solidified ban pattern of which maps they try and get rid of, and that's one of them. We have had Braxis banned out every single time, but now they face off against each other. I mean, Braxis has been played once in HGC Europe. So.
For me, I'm wondering how that Urel top lane is going to be happening here between Darkmok and Wubby. Is Darkmok going to come out here with any surprise to try and shut them down? We did get a little bit of Illidan in the past from him, maybe some more mix-ups, but Urel has been a favorite for Wubby, and he has been dominant on that character, so there is potential here for Granit Gaming to come in and try to snipe that away.
It's also Granit Games map, so for me, I want to see how is Dignitas adjusting to the drafts that we've seen coming out of Granit Gaming just past week. And for Granit Gaming, taking a map or two would already be a success, as we heard Darkmok say. And I feel going into a match like this with a realistic expectation is always a good thing. You know you're going up against one of the most dominant teams, not only within Europe, but within the world. So you have to approach it from the realization or from the fact that, hey, we're the underdog. If we take a map, if we take 2 maps, that's fantastic. If we gain momentum in the series and all of a sudden realize, hey, there's more in it, we can actually maybe even win this because our opponent has a bad day, then of course run with it. But having just a realistic mindset heading into a series makes it a lot easier for you to deal with it if you lose a map, for example.
Team Dignitas thinking about their ban here, even going down to the last couple of seconds. It will be Tracer, so we'll get the standard Tracer Genji ban that we've been seeing from a lot of our teams. There it is. And now off to our first pick. Is Urel worthy here for Team Dignitas, or will they adjust it up? They've been also moving into Kane a little bit too as of late.
Yeah.
Or mirroring what's happening here in Europe.
But it's still Urel.
It's
Urel taken for them. We will definitely establish a spot for Urel to take in Europe, and she is insanely highly prioritized, but we've seen her dip in certain matches, and the last one is a really good example for it, where Blazer started to make the way back in and just shown why he was so dominant for so long. And even with the small nerfs that we've seen, especially to the cooldown on Bunker, he should still be a hero that gives you a lot of value. So Urel might fall in priority at some point, but as I said before, Whoopi loves the hero. She is incredibly powerful, and she's strong on Dragonshire because you can hold that shrine for so long and have also a pretty easy time on holding the lane and the experience at the same time. So you don't have to make that choice. Do I go for shrine control, or do I go and take the experience on the lane itself?
What about Phoenix and Muradin coming in here for that 1-2? When we typically have the Phoenix and Diablo paired together?
I feel on Dragonshire, Muradin is just stronger. He's the stronger option compared to Diablo, and that's why he works here so well. It's also that when Muradin is already taken, Phoenix has a much easier time to make plays here. But it's also a great game taking a hero away that Dignitas loves to play, because that was always the go-to for Dignitas on this map. Even when most teams didn't really play Muradin a lot, you saw GPL going into Muradin on Dragonshire. So I think that's a strong pick. Muradin is super versatile here. He can hop over the debris, he can hop on the shrine, can get that Twig Stormbolt in. So there's a lot of engage potentials that he has that he doesn't have on other maps in that sense. So I think it's a great pick, and I expected him early on to make an appearance.
When we get Kane and Hanzo, Kane being a strong support, as talked about by Nurok actually in our last winners interview. If you have a chance to check in on that, he gave you some insights on why Decker Kane could be so strong. Being able to have the CC and of course both heroics being viable allows for you to adjust on the fly as you need to for your team. But Decker Kane and Hanzo picked up for Team Dignitas, with Granit Gaming making sure the Slug does not have a chance to get picked up.
Dignitas on the second ban. That's the moment when you have to think about, okay, is Granit Gaming throwing something fancy our way? And that might be the case here. Dignitas could ban one of those out, or they just could go with the meta ban. You can ban Malfury in here. There's no support yet on the side of Granit Gaming. Then again, they can always play Rhaegar, Karazim.
Do you consider Samuro here? Is that what we were talking about in terms of really non-meta picks?
I'm not quite sure if Samuro here would worry me too much. It's probably other maps where I'm more worried about them, but yeah, Samuro has, at this point, Samuro has to be a concern for you, because Granit Gaming has certainly shown that they have their own style. And I think this phase is probably the phase in HGC history where we have the most diversity in heroes being played and also different strategies coming into play. Solo support, Abathar. We've seen Samuro, Valera, Zeratul being played, a couple of other variations, and that comes in from so many different teams. Vikings all of a sudden making an appearance again. So a lot of teams have their very own flavor, and I think that's pretty enjoyable. And that forces you also to really do your homework. You can't just ban out meta. You also have to have an idea of what does my opponent do, what are they known for.
The Malthael ban coming in from Dignitas. Did we see Malthael last week?
I mean, Malthael is an important ban if you're planning to play Cho'Gall in the last pick. So that's why.
Okay. That's true. It's a good point. I'm glad you brought that up.
To be honest, it's not wrong.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's true.
That would be awesome, though.
That would be awesome.
Game 1, we get Cho'Gall.
I'd be happy with that.
That would make my day. Yeah, but I assume that at this point, first of all, you can threaten URL with it. We talked about that too. They might go into Diablo here, maybe with them banning out Malthael. And again, Malthael is not a hero that we see too often, but when he fits, it can work out. And well, we have Karazim. So we talked a bit about Karazim. Malfury again not taken. Instead, we will dive potential here. And also now that Malthael has actually gone with Karazim, you still have the 7-sided. So they're looking at this and they're saying like, we're still going to get some burst potential here and can target hit point pull with % damage.
Karazim and Falstad can have that global factor here for the late game. Probably gonna be Dark Monk on the character there. Let's see. 4th and 5th pick here. Gonna be needing our main tank for Team Dignitas.
Yeah. And another damage dealer.
Another damage dealer, sure.
There's a certain hero that comes in.
There's a couple.
I can only think of one.
What's the one you're going with?
Yeah, no.
The Cho'Gall? You're still on this train. Just busting it up.
Granit Gaming 47% is 53 for Dig.
If they pull out Cho'Gall, I'll take my shoes.
That's a lot of... If they pick Cho'Gall, like, okay, they're never going to pick Cho'Gall, but if they do, I want you to call me a god.
Not a god.
Unfortunately.
You're not. You're just a man. A mere man.
Unfortunately.
New Barak and Jaina comes out. I was wondering about Stitches, but there's a new...
Nah, I don't think Stitches with this. I feel if Dignitas play Stitches, they usually try and get a bit of more solid set. Like, either set up in the sense of cozy, play a kidnap comp, but more so you have some kind of lockdown. So, if anything, I was more so thinking about maybe them running Johanna here. That's another hero that JPL really seems to enjoy. We've seen him mainly play it on Tomb, but they also played it on Dragonshire in part 2 of Phase 1 in 2018. So, that would have been one. But I like the Nuburak engage. I mean, this is something that we've seen from other teams. Highly aggressive, very, very enjoyable, and you can play a lot around the Cocoon in particular. It's the first time, actually, that Dignitas plays it now in Phase 2.
What's your wild card, Granit Gaming? What are you thinking about? Alarak coming out? Leoric. Not as hype as Alarak.
Leo is always hype, but it's the wrong skin. What matters?
What skin do you go for?
Ice Giant.
The what?
Ice Giant.
Oh, that one's good on Rexar too. He has an Ice Giant one, yeah. Frost is typically lit.
That's also, I mean, always money pick rules, but if you go for the Ice Giant Leoric, I let you get away with the carpet.
Wouldn't it freeze the carpet and it couldn't fly anymore? If you're an Ice Giant? That's not well thought out. That's poor planning.
Do you freeze the pig?
That's good planning. That's breakfast tomorrow.
A frozen pig is breakfast?
Yeah, dude, you get the freezer and then you thaw it out and then cook it on the stove. Have you not ever frozen any meat whatsoever?
Frozen it?
Yeah.
No, I usually eat it.
Okay. All right. Well,
Meat, eat.
there you go. All right. You're just an animal. Complete beast.
Butcher.
You're a butcher. Yes.
Like, you get
Brought
stacked.
it back into
You
the
get
heroes.
stacks for it, yeah.
There you go.
That's
Let's
the
go to-
segue, boys. Like, you can't train this.
You can't. You can't. Let's go to game number 1 here on Dragonshire. Someone caught his tongue there as we head into Dragonshire and prepare for this best of 5
You
series.
started with it. You're a dummy.
Off we go. Game number 1 here on the left in the blue. Dark Monk playing Leoric, Memecraft on Phoenix, Wolfjo on Karazim. Raid Boss is actually the one on Falstad, Nande on Muradin.
I haven't seen any memes yet from Memecraft. He definitely needs to get on our level because we're killing those.
Wait. Nande on the main tank?
Yeah. And on the right, Dignitas with Whoopi on Urel, Hanzo played by Snitch, Deckard Kane by Zelia, Poik on Jaina, and Nubarak played by JPL. Yeah, that's definitely a pretty nice move over. I'm actually, like, this is one of the things that, for me personally, is going to be interesting because, like, we had a lot of switches with Raid Boss and the role that he played. So now that we're having him on Falstad, I'm actually a little bit confused because Raid Boss has made a lot of these role swaps in the past. But I'm not aware that they made a complete role swap.
Yeah, we're not talking to Darkbuck about this match. I don't think he mentioned that there was a role swap coming in. So kind of curious about this. We'll see how it plays out through the Best of 5 series.
I mean, again, Raid Boss has done a lot of that.
Yeah.
In his history as a player in Heroes of the Storm, not only talking about HGC here. But alright, let's check out how this is going to go for them. Dignitas, of course, comes into the match as the favorite. They're looking strong so far in Phase 2, and they are going to try and continue that trend against Granit Gaming, a team that in the first week struggled severely, but then all of a sudden picked up the pace a little bit and also secured that victory against the Zealots. So let's find out if they can take a map or two against Dignitas, which would definitely be fantastic for their own standing here.
Now that I think about that, that Zealots loss in that last matchup, even more of a sting. You have the matchup against Granite Gaming, the team looking going to Game 5s and not getting those wins. Man,
yeah,
we're going to have to dig deep to get through that. Granite Gaming and team at Dignitas grab both giant camps. Pushing that bottom lane, they should be set up and clearing those out. Top lane will be a struggle between Darkmock and Wubby. As we actually have Wubby pushing in.
This is one of the strengths, by the way, that you see here. She's on the shrine, just hops over and grabs the experience. Has to go back in to make sure that she reclaims it. But Leoric, for example, will eventually have to move off because he might lose lane experience. So you just push a lane out and then you use that as a gap closer. And it's pretty cool because you're putting your opponent in a spot eventually where he has to make a decision. Either he holds on to the shrine or he takes the lane experience. And that's one of those trade-offs in the top lane and the solo lane that you have to always be aware of.
Yeah, you're always trying to get the upper hand in the trade-off. Speaking of the upper hand, JPL knocks up Nande. He's going to have to back up as Team Dignitas is clear out the Giants and also win the trade here. Memecraft taking some damage, has to back away. We'll be safe, but Team Dignitas making a play for that bottom temple, and they already have Urel on the top taking control of that temple, which means they will have both shrines under control.
Yeah, and the top lane is just this back and forth now. So both of them have now started to take that lane again. Whoopi needs a little bit longer to reclaim it because he had time there, but he cannot jump over in just a moment. But it's still not enough to maintain shrine control. But that is going to be the battle between the two of them. And the self-sustain on Urel, that's really what matters at this point. And that's, of course, where we have the level 1 talent coming in, Mara's Insight, which is important in that context. And we have the Gift of the Naru even, so even for more heals later on in team fights. And for Leoric, it's insanely important that in that matchup, he actually hits his Drain Hopes. If he misses those, then he's immediately in trouble.
Yeah, so usually walking up, getting the Skeleton Swing, and then moving into the Drain Hope. Good way to secure that. Wubby, however, continuing the hop back and forth, continuing to soak top lane. Darkmonk doing his best to control the tempo now. As we actually have a bit of a gank here for a Nubarak. JPL takes a bit of damage, but with the potions to back him up, he's doing just fine. Just constant rotation between these two. Quest trying to be finished up. Jaina in particular, sitting at 10 over region globes.
I still like the idea here because you first of all zone out the tank of your opponent, you wait with the rotation, you set up that slide trap, you get a bit of free damage on. It's nothing that really forces a kill yet, but Granit Gaming is very aware of what's happening on the map here, and we see that again as they're attempting to go for the camp here. They're at least thinking about invading it. It would be a bit of a death trap if they actually make that move, but it's at least something that they thought through. Now they have to, on the other hand, send someone to the top lane to make sure that they are reacting to the pressure through the camp, because they didn't really get anything. They scouted it out, had resources nearby, but didn't commit to an invade.
So far, Granit Gaming seems to be holding their own, though. With the camp pushing in the top right corner, though, that's where you mentioned we'll see some pretty aggressive play.
Yeah, and that's with Raidboss, yeah. This is just a consequence of the fact that Dignitas has taken the camp and Granit Gaming didn't. So someone needed to make that rotation. And while that is going to help to defend the lane and defend the shrine, it also creates an imbalance on the bottom part of the map. And that's what Dignitas is now going to try and exploit.
You're all actually trying to grab the top point. Might be able to get it. Dignitas, with that imbalance, is already working on the turrets here in the middle. Let's see if anyone can sneak over, maybe grab this temple. Big scroll comes out, locking down targets. However, with Raid Boss in the top left corner, hiding in the bush, shouldn't be an easy pickup on Dragon here for Team Dignitas.
Yeah, but now look at the top side, because that camp is still pushing the wave out. Leoric is holding the shrine, but he has to retreat. This is exactly the scenario that we talked about earlier. Do you lose experience, or do you give up control? And with the heroes now stacked in the mid lane for Granit Gaming, they are saying, hey, listen, we can interrupt, just take the XP and try to reclaim the shrine after, but we can hold this for a while.
Dignitas was able to grab the Giants as well to the bottom. So they're starting to really control the pace so far. With an invade here in the middle, they look at Nande, put some decent damage on him. With that damage there, they might be able to move over and invade their opponents, get the Giants taken away from them if they would like to, or at least even control the bottom point and start to look at those turrets as well with the Giants backed up. And that's what they're doing here. As Snitch sets up camp.
Leoric's position, by the way, to the top lane just got also way worse, because now Divine Steed is being picked up. And that's another talent where Wooby can just simply hop over, get the experience, Divine Steed, and pony up towards the shrine, and then contest it again. So it really limits the time window that Leoric has to rotate there, which forces Raid Boss now continuously up to that top lane. And Dignitas knows it, of course. So Wooby is still safe enough that he can retreat, but whenever he makes the call, listen boys, I have 2 against me, they know that they can now play a bit more aggressive. And that could later on trigger the exact invade that you just talked about. They could try and go for the Siege Giant camp, because they know they are in a 5 versus 4 situation. Oh, sorry, in a 4 versus 3 situation.
Well, 10's about to hit. Leoric with Entomb here. Might be able to come down and help fight a fight in the middle here. False actually getting chased a little bit by a Nubrag. But JPL is not able to really chase him down here. Cocoon is up and available, but didn't want to burn it, especially with Jaina and Hanzo not being nearby. The constant tug of war continues. And again, Granit Gaming is holding their own against Dignitas. Finally an invade here in the top left corner, but the Ardent Defender comes out. Wubby gets 2 heroics and even jumps away. Has to burn his own Ardent Defender though. Divine seemed to try and escape, should have a jump pretty soon. And there it is, he's out.
It was really important though that he gets the knockback against Leoric, because the idea here was Leoric slowing down Urel so that Falsa can weave in those auto attacks again. And that didn't work out as intended. But JPL is also under pressure. 7-sided even committed. Now, I'm not really a fan of that, since JPL still had his Burrow Charge available. They burned a lot of cooldowns here in the attempt to make these plays. But then again, Dignitas also committed to quite a few on their own. It's still a back and forth the entire time. We're 7.5 minutes into the game and haven't seen a kill yet.
Middle lane though, a bit of invade, and Jaina actually gets locked down. Darkma coming in to join as well. Karazim will get hit with a Cocoon, but it's not enough to keep Jaina alive, as team at Dignitas gets one of theirs taken away, with Granit Gaming getting the first blood.
Granit Gaming right now showing that German efficiency that you would expect from them.
Danke.
Bitte.
Auf Gute?
What?
Auf Gott? That's how it's pronounced, right? Auf Gott?
Stop.
Oh, Big Mighty Gus coming out. Salvo as well as it.
Oh,
It's such trouble. Snitch has to jump over, gets knocked down. 7-sided strike into multiple attacks. Nande
There
gets
you
the
go.
Starfold. Oh my gosh. How did they live? JPL comes in with the Burrow Charge. There goes the knockup. Karazim will fall. Nande will be next. And Team Dignitas, with a team of 2, hold a 3-man gank and get 2 kills instead.
Where's that German efficiency now when you need it? Down they go. 2 dead. They don't get the kill against Zelia, and then they are taken apart, and that's an immediate Dragonite. You cannot give Dignitas an opportunity like this. They will take it, and they will take you down. Great play here. Dig with a DK. They take the camp at the bot lane, and now a heavy push is coming in through the middle and the bot lane. Easy level 13 for them too. Granit Gaming looked strong until then, but they couldn't confirm the kill, and then on the back foot, they lose too.
Granit Gaming tries to soften the engagement happening here in the bottom left by getting the Giants, but still in a pretty poor position. 13 connects, and with Jaina here, they should be able to clear that up. Dignitas, that is. While the middle of the map, the Dragon continues to open up. The fort has been taken away, and the site camp still nice and healthy. Able to start putting some damage and maybe take as well.
Not quite a level ahead just yet, but Dignitas definitely doing work here. Nearly a level ahead at this point. 13 is in their hands, but Granit Gaming still holding on to this. They still have a lot of tools here that they can use to maybe secure these kills. Uriel and Leoric going for double soak while this entire push to the bot lane has been going on. Yeah, Leoric gets away for now, but Whoopi is already there. Divine Steed locking Darkmok down, and that should be a kill, but we actually have the Drain Hope doing work here. And it's enough to keep Darkmok alive. So a well-connected Drain Hope makes sure that Leoric gets out of this. The fight in the meantime towards the bottom of the map still continues with a Stormbolt connecting. 19 stacks currently on Nanda. Talking about stacks, 21 on Raid Boss Seasoned Marksman. And when we talk about JPL, we're sitting at 22 for his Regeneration Master.
Yep, needing 8 more and get a little bit more health. Jaina, however, with not getting too many fights, is actually kind of low on her Ice Block quest, as she's sitting at 4,300. But Team Dignitas, now after getting that fort in the middle and bruising dramatically the fort in the bottom left, which has less than a quarter HP, have set themselves up to open up the map and also limit the first layer of defense from Granit Gaming. However, Granit Gaming trying to bounce back. They grab the Night Camp to the top, tend to put some pressure, even having Leoric try to stay with Uriel here in terms of rotations.
And that 13 is, of course, super important. It's Ominous Raid, first of all, healing static, then you have also Giant Killer for the Seasoned Marksman synergy, and Quicksilver with the extra speed. So there's actually a lot of tools now on level 13 that make it really easier in these fights for Granit Gaming to get value. And they're actually keeping up with Dignitas pretty well. I mean, I wouldn't really have expected them to do this well early on. Dignitas, of course, showed how explosive they can be. And again, the attempt to go for Whoopi. I'm not really sure if I like these moves against Uriel. I mean, there's a reason why she's so strong on that solo lane.
Stay on while and listen. Leoric, however, gets the Wraith Walk. And we'll have a little bit of cleanup.
I didn't even have to go for the Gust here. Still threw that out. It's not too big of a deal since Stay a While and Listen was used as well. But yeah, these ideas of like going for Uriel, I mean, the cooldown on the Entomb is really not too long, so I think they are just saying, hey, it's worth it. If we catch you at a bad spot, then it's fine. But it's, I mean, even if he doesn't jump out, can you really kill him in that moment?
Yeah.
There's just no way. The worst that could happen for Whoopi, and that would be really the worst case scenario, is that he has to pop his 10, the Ardent Defender.
Which is a 100-second cooldown.
Yes.
Mighty Gust is 70,
yeah.
So the idea is, okay, if we can get him to pop that, maybe we'll have a 30-second window where we can punish him next time, but still, you're playing with fire there.
Yeah, I would rather see, I don't know, like they already rotate to a lane and try to get the Entomb there. But yeah, in these instances, I don't think that you can confirm a kill. Like the best you can hope for is to bait the Heroic out, and even that is wishful thinking.
Team Dignitas brings 5 to the top lane to help out Whoopi. They put some damage on Darkmok, who goes for the Entomb. Drain Hope is keeping him alive, though. Oh my gosh, that Scatter Arrow puts decent damage on him.
Yeah, there was no follow-up on the Entomb with damage, especially since we had Phoenix still at the bot lane. But these rotations are important for Granit Gaming because it buys time. They forced Dignitas to rotate top, and they didn't lose anyone. And Dignitas is 16, so they were in the better spot. So for Granit Gaming, this is a win. Buy time. Make sure that your opponent doesn't claim the objective, have Phoenix at the bot lane, reclaim the top, work towards your own talent, and then take it from there.
Team Dignitas setting up for an insta-grab, though. Nande doing his best to slow that down. Whoopi contesting against Murden with Zelia on the side and Poik as well. However,
yeah,
they got 16. They bought enough time.
Yeah, Darkmok is now in a spot where he has Entomb again in 5 seconds, but he just doesn't have it yet. Still a fight over, and Leoric actually gets taken down here by Jaina, basically solo. Darkmok inting a little bit here.
Level 16 comes online, Northern Exposure. Increasing damage taken by 25%. Jaina able to take out Leoric quickly. Even a web here on the bottom lane. It's just be just Hanzo and JPL.
Yeah. Oh, 7-sided. Poik. They're going for him, and they should be able to confirm that if Muradin plays that well. Phoenix goes down to the bot lane in the meantime, but that is still enough to the top to drop Jaina. Job well done.
Jaina taken out, and that'll be 30 seconds before we have Phoenix back on the field. Jaina, another 40 seconds. Team Dignitas continues to fight back and forth here on the top lane, though.
Yeah,
and still up.
And Goat Girl is full at it at this point, just going for it to the top again and trying to get that shrine that would make 2. Falstad flying down, and he is going to channel it. Granit Gaming is just using their global at this point to at least hold your objective a bit longer. They know they are behind. If another Dragon Knight falls into the hands of Dignitas, they will be in trouble.
Well, you need to. They're definitely pulling it off. 20 seconds here for Mighty Gusty back up, as well as 7-sided strike. Dignitas stops the relentless aggression in the top lane and finally pulls away and grabs the Giants to the bottom. They are a full level over their opponents and moving towards that 20.
Dignitas is just having better rotations right now. Every single time they rotate away from a lane, they get value somewhere. They get either a camp or they push a lane out a bit faster. They have already taken more structures, so Granit Gaming is falling farther and farther behind in experience. They are holding up and they're not really doing too badly. The problem is that Dignitas has 2 big things going for them. First of all, if they get another Dragon Knight, then Granit Gaming is going to fall far, far behind. And second, even if they don't get another engage, and actually as we are talking about it, they're getting it right now. Phoenix is dead, and the second kill against Muradin happens too. Double kill, and it might be a triple as Karazim is going to be stunned out after this, or should be. Wolfshow is actually about to escape here, but he will not be able to run forever. Nah, eventually he should be falling. JPL wants to take him down, and that's the end of Karazim. Triple kill. And that brings Dignitas now close to level 20. They can take the camps away. Can also take an easy Dragon Knight as Leoric is attempting to get a bit of counter pressure value to the top. But I mean, even if he gets the fort here, I don't think that's going to do too much for them.
The strength of Epicenter there from a Nubrak. The Dragon Zero. Epicenter able to just barely follow up. Oh no. Falstad. Dying some arrows here to the bottom. As Stitch continues to hunt.
Yeah, the bird didn't really have a lot of luck here, and this looks like game. Falstad is going to be down, Dragon Knight moves through, Keep is already gone, you still have 4 Siege Giants pushing through, and the Storm Talent for Dignitas. How do you defend against this? It's going to be rough. They're trying to push that forward quickly, and especially Darkmorg needs to clean this out. The salvo comes through, but the Dragon Knight is already on the core. Leoric is dead, Dignitas kills Phoenix, and they are moving in on the core to end game number 1.
Finally getting through the shields, even buying a little bit of time here. Nande is in the south, trying to pull that giant aggro away. The minions, however, finally falling. That'll be it. Team Dignitas shreds the core. It drops to 20. It drops to 10. Even getting a Ring of Frost there on the back line. They try to blow up Kerosene. That's it. GG. Dignitas goes up 1-0.
Looking strong here. Granit Gaming, then again, not looking too shabby themselves. It was mostly about, okay, let's not give Dignitas easy opportunities to get kills here. And it all started when we had the approach of Granit Gaming at the bottom lane to go for that double kill, and they couldn't secure it. And through that escape, we saw a setup of Dignitas turning it around and getting a double kill themselves and then getting the first Dragon Knight. That's where things started to go south on the side of Granit Gaming. So Granit Gaming's perspective, that wasn't too bad either. Dignitas is dominant. They are the favorite for very good reason, but Granit Gaming was able to keep up for quite some time.
Yeah, they were. They were running a 2-1-2, though, putting a global in the top lane. That means Dignitas naturally has to play a little bit more reclusive. So going into other battlegrounds, I'm a little bit worried they'll be able to stay that even in experience, especially if they're not able to pick up a global, and it's not a big battleground. But as you mentioned, at least Granit Gaming was able to hang in there with Dignitas, who is the best of the best here in Europe. Now, as we get ready for game number 2, what does Granit Gaming need to do? Do they want to play this close in terms of normal meta type of compositions? Do they want to play with these globals, or is it time to kind of mess it up a little bit here with bigger maps and